guys, welcome back to Say Mojo Homestead. I am Cass. I am here with you today in my garden. Jeremy is a little under the weather, so I'm taking over the video for this weekend by myself. He's done that several times, so I guess it's just my turn this week.
Hold up. Did you really think you were gonna get a video without me in it? Come on. Okay, so it's the next day and I am feeling good enough to come out here and get in this video real quick. Stick around till a little bit later in this video to find out why calling sweet potatoes yams are a huge pet peeve of mine.
But today we really need to harvest our sweet potatoes. I'm going to share with you some tips on how to successfully grow sweet potatoes and just a few little facts, and just bring you along as I harvest in the garden with our garden cat Jeff, who's insisting that I pet him right now. So let's go ahead and start harvesting. So if you are new to growing sweet potatoes and are interested in how you know when to harvest them, because obviously they're below ground, the way we know to harvest them is when the vines and the leaves start to yellow due to the cold. At that point, we know that the sweet potato is not going to continue to grow, and it is just getting too cold for them, and we go ahead and harvest them. Just some growing tips. If you want to get a really good harvest, they require loose, fertile soil. The soil needs to be loose so that the potato can grow and expand. Sorry, the cat is on the camera. They need to be able to grow and have that loose soil so that your sweet potatoes can get bigger. And fun fact, sweet potatoes are not actually in the nightshade family. They are not actually potatoes. So you can see back here, some of the vines ended up going into our goat pen or by our goat pen, and the goats are just enjoying them. Because they are not in the nightshade family, these leaves can be fed to goats. We also forage them and give them to the rabbit as some fresh food as well, because we forage feed our rabbit. These back here are all sweet potatoes that we just missed. We didn't find them, and then they popped up. So we're gonna go ahead and dig them up and see what we have. The way I look for sweet potatoes is I just find like the end of a vine and start pulling, and you'll find some resistance. I found some right here, and that's where the potatoes will be. Now they can root and go down deep, so you will want to kind of dig around where you find them to make sure you get them all and you don't leave them in like we did last year, and then keep searching. So sweet potatoes are originally native to Central and South America. One fun fact I learned about them, because I have family that is diabetic, that sweet potatoes are great for a diabetic diet because it doesn't raise your blood sugar like other starches might. But that depends on cooking methods, so do your research. But if you are diabetic and you like a starchy food, sweet potatoes are a great option for you. The other thing about these, because they were left over last year, is obviously they weren't sweet potato slips that were planted, so we don't really know what is going to be in this patch. It was just a potato that was left. It wasn't a slip. So make sure if you want a good harvest that you aren't just buying a sweet potato and putting it in the ground, that you're making the slips and preparing them before you plant them so that you can ensure a good harvest. So one thing to remember when you are harvesting your sweet potatoes is that they very, very rarely grow in singles. If you find one, there are most likely more down there, so just very gently keep digging around so you don't ruin any skins and miss any.
So, sweet potatoes and yams. Ugh, cannot stand when you walk through the grocery store, especially this time of year, heading into Thanksgiving, and you see candied yams, or even in the produce section where it's labeled sweet potatoes as yams. The reason is because yams and sweet potatoes are actually two totally different plants, not even related. Sweet potatoes are in the morning glory family. Yams are in the lily family. So what started this whole confusion of yams and sweet potatoes actually dates all the way back to early days in America when we were bringing over Africans as slaves, horrible time in our country, to work plantations, but to also be the cooks in the kitchens. And they discovered that we have this vegetable here called the sweet potato, because by that time it had been introduced to the North America area. They realized that this was very similar to what they were familiar with, which were yams. They had never seen sweet potatoes, so when they were handed a sweet potato, they just treated it as a yam. Therefore, we get this confusion because it has been adapted into the culture of America that sweet potatoes and yams can be used interchangeably. Another fun fact about the two is that yams originated in Africa and are predominantly in that part of the world, where sweet potatoes, as Cass mentioned earlier, are more Central South America in their native range. Yams are actually really, really difficult to find in America. Now, you can find them, but it's pretty rare. You got to go to a specialty market normally to find a true yam. Lastly, the biggest difference is that yams really have a pretty neutral flavor. They're not sweet. They're just kind of They're extra starchy, a little bit more fibrous, whereas sweet potatoes, what we're all familiar with, even those of you who call them yams, are going to be sweeter, typically have an orange or purple, even white flesh, where the flesh of a yam is predominantly going to be white. The outer layer of it, or the skin, is going to be more a brown or even pushing black, whereas sweet potatoes, as you know, are going to be either a purple skin or that tried and true orange to orange brown skin. So before you go get all excited about your candied yams this Thanksgiving, just know that you're not really eating yams. You're actually eating sweet potatoes.
We ended up digging up 50 pounds of sweet potatoes, which is super exciting. I cannot wait for some roasted sweet potatoes. That's my favorite way to have them.
I think I actually prefer just sort of your basic, like, mashed up sweet potatoes with some good butter in there, brown sugar, cinnamon, just
Southern sweet
I'd call
potatoes.
it classic, yeah, Southern sweet potatoes.
Is that what you like too? Yeah, so we are super excited about that. It's time for highs and lows.
Let's do highs and lows.
Let's do highs and lows. You go first, because my low is probably like your low.
Mine's super easy. Has to do with why I'm wearing these. This is for your own protection. I got zombie eyes. Check that out. Ugh. Yeah, my low is pretty much all week.
Yeah, just being sick.
I don't have a high this week. You got sick, pink eye, conjunctivitis, worst that I've ever had. I actually only, and my mom's going to come on here on the comments and correct me.
Yeah.
I only remember, I don't remember ever having it more than twice in my entire life. Yep. I might have had it more. This was by far the worst. And it came on with a head cold, maybe COVID, I don't know, something else. I'm still fighting it off. It was miserable. It started Wednesday, and then Thursday I was completely out of commission. Friday felt a little bit better. Saturday felt better, didn't do anything really. I helped you, and that's why I was in the video.
Yeah,
It did help pull sweet potatoes, because that's actually one of my favorite things in the garden. And I was like, I'm not going to miss the one day. But then Saturday night was horrible. It was the worst night ever. I don't know that I've ever been in that much pain due to sickness ever, and just completely miserable. Ears hurt, nose hurt on the inside. Like, I can't even explain it. I told Cass it was like someone was on the inside of my head trying to push everything inside my head out of every exit point on your face. My teeth felt like they wanted to fall out, literally. Like, it was horrible. So yeah, that's a low.
That's terrible.
I had to miss what I heard was an amazing pig picking with our friends Jess and Jeremiah and their church. We were invited to go to that. I had to miss out on that. So it just has not been a good week. Found another spot on the back of my neck that's kind of matching the spot on my arm, so gonna get that checked out. It just hasn't. I mean, I really don't know that I have a high this week.
So my low is definitely sickness in the house. Josiah was sick. Jeremy was sick. Mariah was sick one day. Sayla was sick one day. Pretty much everyone has had a touch of sickness, and Jeremy just had it the longest.
Yeah, theirs was all different though.
Yeah, it was different.
And probably just other factors like too much candy and too late at night
Yeah,
from
it
Halloween.
was. Yeah. It was definitely just like upset tummies and stuff. And my high, I have 2 highs in the midst of your
I'm so glad.
very low week.
So glad that
So-
you had the high for me.
So the picnicking at Roots and Refuge with Jess and Jeremiah and their church and a couple other homesteaders was super fun. I got to kind of help set up for it a little bit, and just I always enjoy setting up for events and helping with events, so that was fun. And my other high is that we went to a new physical therapist with Sayla. We definitely had a confirmation that this is the right direction. Saw some things that we really think are going to help her. So I'm really excited and encouraged about that.
I guess that was a high.
Yeah.
I just kind of overshadowed and me just not having much communication with the family from being quarantined and all that.
Yeah.
So.
Josiah wants to share his highs and lows. What's your high?
My high was Daddy feeling better today,
It's a good high.
and my low was Daddy feeling bad and missing the festival at Roots and Refuge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
missing dinner at Roots and Refuge. Yeah. That
I
was
appreciate that.
sad. Yeah.
But he's been praying for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for prayers from all of you guys, especially if you see this the night that it goes up. Just nights have been rough. Even though I've felt a lot better today, I'm hoping that it continues through the night. But
Yeah.
I can tell that I need to go lay down.
Yeah.
I want to throw out one more because I do have a high. I was excited for Cass. She actually got the opportunity to sit down with Jess.
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of Roots and Refuge, for her podcast,
Yes,
and
that was a
recorded
definite high.
So we'll keep you guys posted on when that will come out,
Yeah.
probably in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I was excited for her
That was
to
very
be able
fun.
to do
that.
that.
Was
She had a lot of fun.
a definite high. Yeah.
So, yeah,
I had a kind of a good week.
she did. She did. It's
Sorry.
okay. One of us needed it. We needed that in our house. But
Yeah.
hope you guys have a much better week than me and have a week like Cass last week, this coming week. Be blessed.